Hello. So, our short mindfulness session that is going to be based again on the practice of pratyahara, that sensory refinement. Today, we're going to focus on the sense of touch or feel. And we're going to start by getting yourself in a position where you can have your back supported. So, I'm currently sitting on the floor, my back is up against a wall. So you can feel that sensation of something literally having your back. So you can also do this lying fully on your back if that's a fit for your environment as well and you're comfortable with that. So find a way to get yourself fully supported along the back side of the body, along the length of the spine, as much as you possibly can. And then once you're there, start by just kind of moving around in some of the joints, noticing if there's any sensations in the neck and shoulders, maybe wriggling out the fingers, shaking out the arms, shifting the legs, whatever you need right now to just kind of get a sense of what sensations are currently in the physical body and what you can kind of release of excess energy and tension that's not serving you. And then eventually we'll bring some stillness to the physical body. I will practice this practice with my eyes closed. You can choose whatever works best for you. Maybe even just resting your gaze down in front of you so the eyelids become half closed. And that helps to release again those visual distractions that can interfere. Then breathe. Notice the sensation of the breath. And as we move through this practice, I invite you to work as much as possible, or just be aware of, I guess is the better word, as much as possible, any conditioning, any narratives, any expectations or identities that perhaps are attached to the sense of touch. And that sensation of feeling on the physical body. Perhaps as you're aware of them, you can release any of the narratives, any of that expectation or conditioning that is either not serving you or harmful. So that as we move through sensory refinement practices, we can become more aware of what is actually healthful and helpful for us as individuals, and what is maybe based on practices or ideas that don't serve us. As you continue to breathe, we'll start noticing that sense of feeling and touch by noticing the coolness at the tip of the nose as you breathe in, and perhaps warmth on the top lip as you breathe out. Do you feel any sensation of your clothing shifting against your rib cage at the side body, the lower ribs, upper back? Anywhere that you might feel sensation across the skin as you breathe. And then expand that out. What sensations do you feel in other areas? Perhaps your toes, maybe they're resting in socks or in shoes, or feeling the feet, bottom of the feet planted on the floor, or the sensation of the fabric of the socks on the feet. Perhaps it's a sensation at the top of your head or around your face or back of your neck, either from feeling your hair move or sensation of any air movement at that area. Just become aware, as detailed as you possibly can. It's useful to harness the sensation of touch to help us to trigger the compassion response. So part of our practice today will be based also partly on some work from Kristen Neff around self-compassion and physical touch. So we're going to move now, bring some movement into the hands, maybe rubbing the hands together and feel the sensation of fingers moving over fingers. Maybe one hand is warmer than the other. Maybe you can notice what if the back of the hands feel differently than the palms. Maybe you notice the difference of the nails than the skin of the fingers. Maybe as you start to rub the hands together, you notice that there's a little bit more warmth building up in the hands. And then from there, I'd invite you to utilize as much energy, as much vigorous movement versus subtle or still movement as you feel would be helpful for you today. So that could be just resting one palm over your heart or both palms over your heart. Or it might be gently tapping at your collarbone. I'm going to go through a series of suggestions. If I land on something that feels good to you, you can stay there, or you can check out different movements. Maybe it's moving the hands to the shoulders, noticing the warmth of giving yourself a hug, or it could be some gentle rubbing of the upper arms. Maybe vigorous rubbing is what you need. Some other options is one hand on the heart, one hand on the belly, and feeling the breath move. It could be some gentle tapping or rubbing or holding your hands at your face. If there's anything else that's calling to you, any other movement, any other way for you to gently find sensation in your body with your hands, do so. If you are in an environment or any time or space that this doesn't feel comfortable or accessible for you, instead of using your hands and physically doing the movement, bringing into your mind any sensation on your skin or physical touch that is helpful for you. Maybe it's the sensation of a warm shower, perhaps a heavy blanket weighted over you when you're lying down. Maybe it's petting a cat or a dog, a pet. Bring to mind any of those physical sensations and imagining that happening right now as much as you fully can experience it. So continue with the physical movement or imagining the sensation. And as you do, start to notice if you can tap into a sensation, an emotion, a feeling that is an emotion of caring for yourself. Or of feeling cared for. You're busy. If you're feeling cared for, if you're feeling that sensation of self-care, allow that to start to shift into some self-compassion. So perhaps if you're holding yourself at the shoulders, resting on your chest, cupping your face, or feeling the sensation of any other object or person doing that, let that warmth, that glow of feeling cared for start to spread into self-compassion. Perhaps even tying it to some of those narratives that we started with at the beginning, the expectations, the conditioning, knowing that if those are harmful or not serving you, you can release them by starting to tap into deeper self-compassion, little by little, one replacing the other, and feeling the glow of self-compassion, feeling more accessible than it was perhaps before, more welcoming. Maybe self-compassion feels better to you, feels kinder, more helpful, and more healthful than some of the narratives that hurt you or that are harmful. And know that as you move through, you can move to different movements. You can bring this back to mind or bring this practice back into your day anytime you feel that self-compassion, caring for yourself, accepting yourself, and releasing harmful messaging could be useful. Returning time and again to building up our self-compassion so that we can better serve ourselves and we can better show up how we would like in this world. Take another lengthened inhale. As you exhale, gently lower the chin. Maybe release the hands, shake out any energy. Rub the arms vigorously, roll the shoulders. Release that emotional stuck energy that builds up in the physical body, especially as we bring to mind some of these practices that can be emotional. If you haven't already, blink the eyes open and then reorient yourself in your physical space, in your environment. Again, notice your back, the feeling of something having your back, and know that you can do that for yourself in even a small measure as you need. Have a fabulous day, and I'll see you again the next time. Thank you.